Hey, David.
I'm all.
Julian Gauthier, we just spoke to him. He had a pretty up and down game yesterday. Pretty great goal, but a couple costly penalties. Where do you feel like he is in terms of maintaining a lineup spot, and in what kind of potential do you think he has?
Well, he certainly has made good progress over the last few months, and we continue to want to see his game go in that direction. Like you mentioned, the penalties were something that, took a little bit away from some of the good things he did, and he's got to find that balance. He's got to find that balance of doing the things he's done well with minimizing the mistakes, like every player does. So we think he's got a bright future. You can see the physical skills he has, and he's still learning the NHL game. So, that's the situation he's in.
Next question comes from Anthony Fucilli with MSG Network. Fuch, go ahead.
Coach, just your general thoughts on Brandon Smith and what he's been able to bring to the table.
Yeah, Smitty's, obviously we've talked a lot about him. He's a guy that brings an awful lot of energy to our lineup. He competes. He's got a great personality, helps the young players, and he's played well. So, right now he's a guy that we rely on, and, I'm happy for him because I think it's, he knows what he means to this team, and, certainly like the direction his game's going in.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
Hey, David. After all the uncertainty yesterday with the COVID stuff going on, just wanted to check in on, do you guys feel like it's settled and you're kind of out of the woods there? And then with the three guys who were missing yesterday, the understanding is they were still out today but beyond that, everybody else was at practice?
Yeah, we're still waiting. We're not sure what their status will be tomorrow. It's always day to day when you're in the COVID protocol, so we'll see what their availability is tomorrow.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, just wanted to ask what you thought of Kincaid's performance last night in goal, and if you will share who's playing goal for you tomorrow.
Yeah, Keith made some big saves, that's for sure. One of the things that we've got to make sure that we clean up is the odd man rushes and the breakaways that we gave up. That is not a recipe for success against anybody, let alone the Flyers. So that's something that we've got to do a better job of. And the goalie tomorrow will be Georgiev.
Next question comes from Mark Roseman. Mark, go ahead.
Morning, Coach. What did you make of Parmo's debut, given the circumstances? And is it sometimes easier to be thrown into that position than have to think about 2 or 3 days in advance for your debut?
Yeah, I think that might be the best scenario. Just be told that day and play. You're not overthinking it. And I thought he did a good job. I thought he was composed. I thought he made good decisions with the puck, not just a goal, but I thought he did a lot of good things for us last night.
Next question comes from Molly Walker. Molly, go ahead.
The team has only won in overtime once this season out of 6 opportunities. I know with 3-on-3 it can really come down to a couple lucky bounces, but how would you evaluate how the team has done in the extra period, and where do you think they can improve?
Well, 3-on-3, it's, one of the things last night, I thought we had possession. I didn't think we'd take advantage of it. I didn't think that we ran enough interference and picks. I didn't think that we tried to penetrate inside enough. I thought we kind of let him off the hook when we had a chance to maybe exploit him a little bit. We had him tired, and then we made some changes. So, we just got to make better decisions on the 3-on-3. We made some costly mistakes in the games that we have lost, which can happen. But, it's an area that we've got to make sure we clean up.
Next question comes from Dan Rosen. Dan, go ahead.
David, this question understandably might be better for Georgiev or even for Benny, but what have you seen him doing and what has he been doing to work on his game a little bit over the last few days here? Been a couple of rough starts for him, so what has he been doing lately to improve, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not so sure that it's the physical aspect, Dan. I think it's more the mental piece for him, and I know Benny's been working with him, obviously, and that's something that Georgie's been pretty good at. He's been pretty mentally tough since he's been here, and every player goes through a stretch that maybe they're not at their best, and he's kind of going through that right now. We're anticipating him getting out of it.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, when you're assessing Julian's game last night, on the goal you see the speed and the skill and all that kind of come together on that play. But then with the penalties, I mean, did you see him being over aggressive, or what do you look at as, or do the positives outweigh the negatives there, or how do you kind of look at the game as a whole? Last
Well, you got 2 stick penalties, so to me, lunging for a puck is when your stick gets a little loose, that can happen, and he's going to be a little bit more under control with his stick and not lunging at pucks. That's something that he's going to make sure he's aware of, as does every player. So. Again, it was a mixed bag for him with the goal and a couple other good things he did, but the penalties hurt.
And we have time for one more. Quinn, Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, I just wanted to follow up a little bit on the goalie situation with Georgiev. How much rope can you give him? I mean, you need points here. I know you want to get his confidence back and all that kind of stuff, but how much rope can you give him here in terms of throwing him back in there? And also, what is really the latest with Igor? We know he skated before practice, but I mean, is he on the horizon anywhere?
Igor keeps working his way back, like we've talked about. He's day to day, and so that's his situation. And as far as Georgie, I mean, he's got a good track record. He's obviously been struggling a little bit, but Kincaid's played a lot of hockey in a short period of time here, so we want to get Georgie back in there. We're going to need him. So, but that being said, you got to play well, and he's certainly getting to the point where he's going to, we've got to make sure that we put the best goalie in there, and we're trying to. We know what he's capable of doing, and we know that if we're going to have the success we're capable of having, we need him.